in a long time.
Haters!
I forgot how much I hate that. In the bottom left side, for Team Liquid, we've got the red Zerg. Give it up for Snute!
In the bottom,
No,
or
more hype.
top right.
More
Shut up.
hype.
Sorry, I've already messed it up though.
More
That was
hype.
really alarming.
More hype.
Nope.
More
the
hype.
top right as
More
the
hype.
Zerg. It is
It's a
Elazer.
laser! Woo! Okay, less hype. Lower.
I don't know what you want from me, man.
Lower. Lower. Too low!
That was a.
Lower.
This is very surprising and doesn't make any sense right now.
Actually, I love. Okay, all this silly stuff said. I actually am surprised that I caught you off guard with that. You actually were kind of like, okay, what?
Yeah, you're all like, well, yeah, we're getting a game, and well, here's the player. Hype, hype, and you're just like, what the fuck?
It's like, it's like a dog trainer. You're just like barking out orders, literally. Anyways, so ZvZ, let's talk about this before we talk about the players too much, because this is maybe going to look different in the different games. This was not your typical ZvZ. This was not the super fast gas pull gas timings that we're seeing players play with right now. I'm not going to go into the long speech of the way the game evolved, but the TLDR right now is it's a lot more favorable. Whoa, that APM difference. It's a lot more favorable to get super aggressive. We're seeing so many games. Koreans, it's a good example of this. Europeans, because we cast so many ZvZs in Europe specifically, we're seeing a trend. Fast games that are over quick. And a lot less of those games that are like Roach Ravager Wars in the mid game or anything with the late game. Folks know if you've been watching a lot of Snute stream, and he has been streaming a surprising amount lately, you've seen a fair share of your late game ZvZs where he has actually been using lurkers like a god. I just want to give him a shout out for that. But the matchup goes a lot of different directions now, and it's not just strictly Roach Ravager or just Lings.
Yeah. Lings are still the most fun in my opinion, though. Those knife fights are always so fun. But it's going to be held off on for now, and in fact might just not happen really. It's Dust Towers, you can get a third base kind of easily. Any pressure might just be fake pressure, actually, as you send out like 15-20 Lings, but then really you intend to take a third base and drone up all along, that type of deal. Certainly happens on Dust Towers.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I just want to address this comment. This is something that really doesn't, it's not a big deal, but people bark, like, I'm sorry, you're like the 7th person I suggested, so I'm not singling any one person out here, but suggesting you guys should really consider investing into a streaming PC. Here's the thing, guys. This is what makes me really extra frustrated about these crashes. I have a really nice streaming PC. I've invested like well over 5K on my setup at home, and my PC was like 2.5K alone. And it's so perfect for StarCraft 2. I built everything around specifically being able to stream StarCraft 2, okay? So we've got that. But because of our current situation, which again, I don't blame everyone for not knowing, we don't have the option of using that presently. So this is it's a laptop for 6 more days, and then I go back home, and then we have a real setup again.
Yep. So that's a lot of Lings from Elazer, whose speed finish is a little bit late, since Snoop's able to get to surround on whatever Lings were available beforehand. But now there are more, and Elazer will be able to defend. They both got a Baneling Nest, but yeah, it's going to be the case where they're not really going to be using it. Solo Sub donates $5 and says Rifkin is a butt.
I disagree. That's it. The end.
Okay.
Disagree.
No request for either one of us to hit each other with a hammer. So.
I'll take it.
But yeah, the Ling Wars never really went down. Dust Towers allows that third base, and neither one of them saw a great opportunity to flood with Lings. They just got enough to defend comfortably, and they finishing up their third bases, both on the way to lair as well. Elazer's a bit faster of missile attack, rather.
So I'm a little bit, I don't know how I feel about this. So for Snute's sake, Elazer, he's just a strong guy that everyone hates playing on ladder. It's not the guy in the bracket you want to see early on. But, ooh, that was a wonderful Baneling hit. I was going to say, though, for Snute, he's actually been pretty good with roaches. He's been amazing with lurkers. I just feel like if all things go according to plan and Snute doesn't mess up and Elazer doesn't do anything particularly standing on his own, I really like Snute for this mid-game stuff. But getting across the map like this doesn't take the same Baneling hit. Gonna get a couple of queen kills maybe? First one gonna go down. A couple of Banelings even being more. He's feeling really good about this attack.
Yeah. Just joining up behind it as well. He's going to take a bit of a lead. He's going into a Spire. I know he already invested in, I think, 2 Spine Crawlers to help him out in case there is too big of a counterattack, but his more Lings come on the way, and Elazer underestimated this.
Yeah, this... I don't blame him for thinking he had more time, though. This looked like a really, really passive game. But Snute picks apart a couple of Queens. He gets a couple of drone kills on top of it. He's got a very definitive lead right now, and he's choosing Spire of all things. So if Elazer's going to stick with Roaches, he's going to have a really bad time.
Now, luckily for Elazer, Snute stopped committing to this, and because if not, I think it's already gone too far. The avalanche has already started, but Snute is only just now getting more Lings across the map and making 20 more too, in fact.
Oh god, 4 Queens dead, only 1 injecting. If this was just still Ling versus Ling and nothing else, Snute would win from Larva.
Spire is almost done, and Snute still has enough money and gas to make about 9, let's say, if he dedicates entirely to it. He's still winning the ground war too, which is extra worrying, and that larva count really is a problem for Elazer, who maybe has recognized that it's mutas and is going for an infestation pit first. The problem, of course, is that you have nothing else to protect the infestors. The sport crawlers are only just now going down, and queens are only so quick. There's only so many of them.
Did he actually scout that Smoothers, or is he assuming? I mean, for those who don't know, they've been doing a lot of practice. People in chat are the first one to bring this up, and I should have as well, where Snoot's got a not great record versus Elazer in general, but I still, again, in tournament settings, I always have confidence in Snoot.
Yeah. I think besides practicing against each other, maybe knowing Snoot's playstyle, is also just like, that was a lot of Lings as opposed to Roaches, which they both seem to have been going to, as well as seeing that lair with 2 Spine Crawlers is awfully suspicious. If you think that they're going to go for Roaches. Like, why the Spines in the main? Why Spines at all? But anyways, he's bringing back his Overlords. The Infestors are going to try and get out, but they need the Passage Lands to be about halfway done first before you start them. While the Sport Crawlers will cover against the Mutas, there's not much to cover against the Ground Army of any type.
He swapped back into Roaches after this, too, so... I mean, all these Queens, all this investment to stop the Mutas... And, oh geez, he splits expecting the Fungal Growth to be here, but they just go right into the Queens. Who cares? The Banelings have got splash damage, but the Queen's going down. That'll mean a little bit more leeway for the Mutas. I mean, there's still Spore Crawlers, obviously, but as the Banelings go off in the middle line, the Elazer just falling apart. Good game, well played.